Intracanal medicaments. It would be covered under the following contents: introduction, rationale for intracanal antiseptic medication, ideal requirements of intracanal antiseptic medicaments, objectives of intracanal antiseptic medicaments, factors influencing antiseptic action, classification of intracanal medicaments, earlier intracanal medicaments, recent advance in intracanal medicaments and techniques, herbal intracanal medicaments, conclusion and references. Coming on to the introduction, microorganisms are the main etiological agent of pulp and periradicular diseases. However, with proceeding infection, necrosis, and apical periodontitis, the entire root canal system becomes invaded by bacteria. The goal of endodontic treatment is remove and kill all microorganisms in the root canal and neutralize any agents that may be left in the canal after killing microbes. Endodontic treatment procedure can be divided into three main phases, that is biomechanical preparation of root canal, disinfection and obturation. Coming on to the rationale for intracanal antiseptic medication. Eliminate bacteria from the root canal and prevent reinfection. The remaining bacteria may multiply during the period between appointments, often reaching the same level that it was at the start of previous session in case where the canal is not dressed with a disinfectant between visits. Ideal requirements of intracanal antiseptic medicaments. Be an effective germicide and fungicide, non-irritating and remain stable, effective even in presence of blood or serum, must penetrate tissue deeply, should not interfere with periapical healing, and last should not stain tooth. It should be capable of being inactivated or neutralized in culture medium, prevent coronal microleakage and not diffuse through the temporary restoration. It should have a prolonged antibactericidal effect. Now, objectives of intracanal antiseptic medicaments. First, elimination of microorganisms. Sterilize to disinfected in the canal space. Second, rendering contents of canal inert to mummify, fix, or otherwise neutralize tissue or debris left intentionally or unintentionally in the pulp space. Third, prevention or control of post-treatment pain by chemical or pharmacological action of the medicament in direct contact with necessary nerves in the pulp or periapical tissues which inhibit nerve conduction. Fourth, enhancing anesthesia. Agents somehow reduce the sensitivity of the inflamed, difficult to anesthetize pulp. Fifth, control of persistent periapical abscess. Medicaments have been suggested as a means of controlling this difficult situation. Coming on to the factors influencing antiseptic action of intracanal medicaments. First, drugs. Certain selected antibiotics satisfy many of the requirements of root canal antiseptic in that they are active in the presence of tissue fluid, do not stain the tooth, and are virtually non-irritant to the tissue cells. Since they are non-irritant, a very high concentration of antibiotics may be used, and so bactericidal effect is achieved. However, no single antibiotic is effective against all microorganisms liable to the presence in contaminated root canals. Second form of the drug, endodontic treatment with different medicaments could markedly affect the diversity and quantity of cultivable microorganisms in infected canal, with some groups of microorganisms more resistant to treatment than others. Third, microorganisms. The antimicrobial action of these dressings must reach different types of microorganisms, inhibits osteoclastic activity in root resorption, and favors tissue repair. Classification of intracanal medicaments. According to Goursman, first, essential oils containing eugenol, second, phenolic compounds such as parachlorophenol, camphorated parachlorophenol, creosote, quercetin, trisinol. Third, aldehydes, that is formoprisol. Fourth, heavy metal salts such as metafen, merthiolate, mercurofan. 5. Nitrogen. 6th, halogens, sodium hypochlorite, iodides, chlorhexidines. 7. Quaternary ammonium compounds such as 9-aminoacidine, 8. Calcium hydroxide, and last, antibiotics. First, coming on to the essential oils, that is eugenol. Eugenol is the chemical essence of oil of clove and is somewhat related to phenol. It is slightly more irritating than oil of clove and is both as an antiseptic and an anodyne. It is pale yellow liquid which becomes dark with age. Mechanism of action involves eugenol plus blood combines disruption of blood cell and causes hemolysis. The anodyne effect of it may be because of its ability to impair or eliminate the conduction of an impulse in nerve tissue. Because of this property, it is used in temporary dressings and antiseptic dressing following pulpectomy. Second, phenolic compounds, which contains phenol. It is one of the oldest antiseptic and introduced by Lord Lister into medicine in 1867. Phenol crystals will become liquefied on the addition of camphor, menthol, or thiol. Second, parachlorophenol are colorless. Needles-like crystals like phenol turns dark upon exposure of light, causes coagulation of proteins and thus fixes the pulp. Camphorated parachlorophenol, composed of 2 parts of p-chlorophenol and 3 parts of gum camphor, which was introduced in dentistry as a root canal antiseptic by Wolkoff in 1891. It is transparent, oily, light, amber-colored liquid having a characteristic aromatic odor. The camphor serves the purpose of a diluent and vehicle and reduces the irritating effect of pure parachlorophenol. Coming on to the fourth, cresol. It is colorless or pinkish liquid with a phenolic odor. It is approximately 3 times more effective as disinfectant than phenol. Cresol is also a substitution product of phenol. Third, coming on to the aldehydes. It is clear, slightly reddish liquid with disinfective odor. The proportion of formalin and cresol varies from 1:2 to 1:1. It is a mixture of 3 isomers. Fourth, nitrogen. Claimed to be both as an intracanal medicament and sealer, nitrogen has permanent disinfectant action and unusual antiseptic properties. Sixth, halogens. Disinfectant actions of the halogens is inversely proportional to their atomic weights. First, sodium hypochlorite. It is a current irrigating solution of choice used clinically in the concentration of 0.5 to 5.25. Necrotic tissue and debris are dissolved by sodium hypochlorite, a property exploited in biomechanical cleansing of root canals. Coming on to the second, chlorhexidine. It is synthetic cationic bisgonides that consist of 2 symmetric 4 chlorophenyl rings, 2 bigonite groups connected by central hexamethylene chain. Calcium hydroxide. Harman introduced calcium hydroxide into dentistry 1920. It has an antibacterial properties and has the ability to induce repair and stimulate hard tissue formation. Uses prevention of root resorption, repair of iatrogenic perforation, treatment of horizontal root fracture, apexogenesis, root resorption, and in weeping canals. The high pH activates the alkaline phosphatase activity, which helps in hard tissue disposition. It induces mineralization in tissues. The hydroxyl ions present provide an alkaline environment, which helps in early healing as an antimicrobial action. Antiseptics. As mentioned by Grossman, PBSC has enjoyed wide use among dentists. Nystatin replaces sodium caprylic as the antifungal agent in a similar medicament, PDSN. Both are available in the paste form that may be injected in root canals or impregnated on paper points. Because there is no motility, the drug may be placed in the canal to effect in the area. Preclinical notes. Mode of application of intracanal medicaments. There are basically 2 methods. The first, the medicament can be placed on a cotton pallet and placed in the pulp chamber. Second, the root canal can be flooded with the preparation. If the medicament is to be used, a bottle containing the medicament should be inverted to allow the liquid to cling to the near side of the mouth of the bottle. The cover is removed and the sterile cotton pallet is lightly wiped on inside, picking up some of liquid. The cotton pallet is then squeezed in a sterile gauze sponge. The amount of medicament remaining in the pallet is more than sufficient to render its temporary antibacterial action. Frequency of medication. In accordance with general principles of root canal management, antiseptic or disinfectant dressings should preferably be changed after a week and not longer than 2 weeks. In dressing a root canal, an absorbent paper moistened with medicament is carried into the canal, a cotton pallet also moistened with the medicament is placed in the pulp chamber. The excess medicament is absorbed and a double seal is inserted. Coming on to the recent advances in intracanal medicaments and techniques. Triple antibiotic paste. Because of the complexity of root canal infections, the use of single antibiotic may not result in effective disinfection of RCs. A combination of antibiotic may be needed to address the diverse flora encountered. Medicated gutta percha, calcium hydroxide, chlorhexidine, iodoform, tetracycline. Bioactive glass. When used in root canals, bioactive glass was found to kill bacteria, but the mechanism of action was not pH related and dentin did not seem to alter its effect. Some new obturating materials such as Resilion technologies were calling for contain bioactive glass. 4. Chlorhexidine digluconate. Chlorhexidine digluconate has been recommended both as root canal irrigant and as an intracanal medicament. Coming on to the ninth, intracanal medicaments. First, propolis. Propolis is resinous material that honeybees collect from the various plant species and mix with other substances. The chemical composition of propolis is complex. Second, termite. It is widely used as intracanal medicament in treatment cases. Neem. Neem is a broad range of therapeutic effects like antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, antipyretic, analgesic. Lemon. Fresh lemon solution is used as an intracanal medicament because of its wide antibacterial efficiency, including E. faecalis. Ricinus communis. It is used as an root canal irrigant as well as an intracanal medicament. Coming on to the last conclusion. Intracanal medicaments and antibiotics have been used for a number of reasons, both in past and currently. Disinfection is a continuous process from the start of extirpation of the pulp to the obturation, and intracanal medicaments play a role in it. The recent advances in intracanal medicaments are activated by means of combination of physical and chemical methods. Thank you.